That's wrong.
BJ님 어서 오세요.
That did not work. Good morning, everyone. This is Jay with another commute vlog. It is super sunny today and already 23 degrees centigrade, and it is set to get up to the 30s today, so very good weather for Switzerland, which is not typical. I have to explain that before. And today the rain is coming in the evening, but like the day will be super sunny, bright, hot, and yeah, perfect weather for work, right? That's how it is. So yeah, I'm driving from where I live to where I work. That was obvious, right? And this is eastern Switzerland. We are close to the Austrian border. So from where I live, I can go by foot to Austria. So really close to the border. And very close to the mountains, and that's the reason why we have way more rain than on the western part of Switzerland. But yeah, mountains are kind of a hassle sometimes when it comes to the weather. And in front of us, not like very in front of us, but if you turn like a little bit to the left side, there's Lake Constance, one of the biggest lakes in Europe. It has about, I think, 70 kilometers in length. Yeah, 70 chit kilometer. And so we also get in the afternoon. So now we're turning like above the highway. There you can see the clouds coming. So when it is summertime, you will see the clouds rising above the lake, and like between maybe 9 and 11 o'clock we have the thunderstorms just from the hot weather of the day. And direction now is towards Appenzell, like the small canton on the hill side. It's just in between, not in the center, but like it's surrounded by the canton of St. Gallen, where we are right now. But the canton border is also very close. So if you look on the right side, the near mountains on the right side, this is Canton Appenzell, and the mountains ahead of us, far ahead of us, this is the Austrian mountains in the region of Vorarlberg. Maybe you better know Tyrolia, Innsbruck, where skiing takes place. That's Tyrolia, and this is the area behind the mountains, and in front of the mountains is the region of Vorarlberg, which literally means it's in front of the Arlberg, which is the name of the mountain, Arlberg. Yeah. So that's what we see. And the small mountain, now directly in front of us, the small mountain is Appenzell, the outer roads, and the city of Walzenhausen. So Walzenhausen is a very famous city among tourists because Walzenhausen was a rather rich city for the region, and it has a world-class hotel on top. At least it was a world-class hotel at that time. Still it is. Turgun? Ani? And yeah, now you can see it better, like the small hill, and on top of it, Appenzell. 출근? 출근 뭐요? 그 말 몰라요. 죄송해요. 출근. I read this word a couple of times, but I can't remember the meaning actually. 출근 뭐예요? 그 말 진짜 몰라요. So in front of us, the mountains in front of us, this is Austria. 거기서 아우스트리아예요. 그 산이 아우스트리아 산이에요. 근데 여긴 attend the office? 맞죠. 출근 is attend the office? Interesting. I learned something. So like
커맨더로드님 어서 오세요.
all the mountains you can see now, like the grayish ones behind, that's all Austria. And on the right side, this is Appenzell. And on the left side, beneath the highway, it's Austria. So like beneath the highway, where on the left lane the cars are driving, like shortly beneath that there's the river, the old Rhine River. And the old Rhine River is the country border, and the new Rhine River was built against flooding. So the new Rhine River transports a lot of water into the Lake Constance. So they straight down into the lake. That would be like 7-8 kilometers from here, but on the left side is very close. And I hope the highway will be finished soon. It's kind of annoying because we have to drive so slowly. But when you peek on the other side, you can see the road is. They started building the road itself, and they already finished some parts. So in front of us, you can see the new start on the right side over there. After the machine, there it starts. That's the new highway. Already finished, so they're like cleaning up. So the wall is finished, the highway is finished, so they will start marking the lanes, and then all is done. And then maybe they will start fixing that provisional road, or old part of the road we have where we're driving right now. I wonder when they finish. And the funny thing is, here the road is like higher level than the road we're driving on. And earlier, the new road was like lower than the level we were driving on. So now you can see the Austrian mountains far in the back. A little bit snow is still on top. So the big mountains that you can see, not really big on the screen, but you can realize they're far away. These mountains are the Arlberg Mountains, the start of the Alps. And directly in front of us is now the Swiss mountains, also beginning of the Alps. So here it all starts. And if you drive on in this direction on this highway, you will end up in Italy. And when you cross to the left side of the Rhine and you follow the road, you will end up in Tyrolia, and further on in Carinthia, and further on in Italy as well. So from here to Italy, it's about, depending on traffic, 2 to 3 hours, maybe 2.5. Take the middle, and then you'll be in Italy. Right? And as always, now we're leaving the highway and we're going into the next city. It's not really a city, but yeah, we call it city because there's nothing big around. Nothing happened. Sometimes those sensors are a little bit sensitive about, it's a collision prevent signal which intends to warn me when I might hit something. But sometimes if you go into sharp corners with a maybe too high speed, then the car thinks like, oh man, 5 meters away there's a blockage, he's gonna hit it. So it's like starting to warn. And it has that on some areas, some certain spots where I drive. I can regularly produce that signal or warning or whatever. Come on, just drive, don't smoke. Smoking in the car, I think this is something gross. First of all, the car stinks, and second, there is like, you're like sitting in a cloud of smoke. No, I don't like that. I know smokers who smoke, but not in the car. That's why I always say this is kind of a mental thing and not really addiction. Yeah, perfect weather today. A little bit of humidity in the air. That's why it's a little bit foggy in the long distance. Yeah, and those small mountains in front of us, small, they're really small, kind of. It's called Hoher Kasten. It has a television antenna on top, so it must be a little bit higher, and it's, I think, around 1200 to 1400 meters, and behind that is the Sentis. The Sentis is the biggest mountain in our region, and it reaches almost 2000 meters in elevation. Can you say that? Yeah, kind of. And yeah, that's like the biggest mountain over here. And yeah, if you follow the Alps, you will find bigger mountains, of course, but not in our region. Alright, guys, the sun is shining, as you can see, brightly shining. And I'm getting close to the office, so time to wrap up the short drive bunk show. And fuel price is still up. Dang, everything's getting so expensive. Anyways, yeah, it will be a, I think, mid-level workday. A little bit of stress, not too much. Not more than usual, I guess. Anyways, and maybe I'll find time to broadcast in the evening, but I'm not sure how things turn out. But maybe I try. I need to find some schedule for my broadcasting again. It's kind of off schedule these days. Alright, guys, thanks for stopping by. Hit the up button, and see you in the next stream. 앞부탁드립니다, 여러분. 다음에 봐요.